Pisces, welcome to your weekly reading. Let's get started and see what messages we have for Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising positions for the week ahead. Keeping in mind these are general readings and may not resonate for everyone. So make sure to check out your other placements because you could have messages there as well. And if you're interested in a personal reading, you can find the link for that in the description below, or you can send me an email to set that up. Okay, my friends, let's get started and see what messages we have for Pisces. What is the current energy around Pisces for the week ahead? Pisces, Sun, Moon, and Rising. We see a time for healing coming out right away here. And another card, hold your vision. Great advice. And on the bottom of the deck, we see a personal issue reaches resolution. So this is a time of healing where you're being guided to really hold your vision. Don't lose focus. Allow this healing to happen, but don't lose focus because something is about to resolve for you, Pisces. So, this isn't a time to sort of take your vision and crumple it up and throw it in the trash. No. Hang on, hold that vision. This is a time of healing that you're going through. You're moving through some healing energy right now that's releasing you and resolving a personal issue from your energy. So very interesting. This is a good time for you to really do some vision work, like visualize that your whatever goal you have, whatever you're trying to achieve, whatever you're trying to resolve. Imagine what it's like when it resolves. What does it feel like? What does it look like? What do you see when you visualize this issue resolving? What feelings come up for you? What do you feel physically? What do you feel emotionally? What do you feel in terms of the quality of your thoughts? You know what I mean? What subsides? What enhances? Really trying to sit in and embody that vision now as you're healing, so that your focus as you're healing is sort of expanding your energy and creating momentum towards whatever it is that your vision is. And I feel like right now it's a emotional space for you. I feel right now that Pisces, you are in a space where, we just had a new moon in Pisces, so you're reorganizing yourself energetically according to the vision that you're holding. And there is something that needs a resolution. It'll be different for everyone listening, but let's see what the tarot cards will reveal for you, Pisces, around this time for healing, where something is going to resolve. There will be resolution. Oh, that's way too many cards, but they're very interesting. Let's fold them back in and see if they come back. That was like 7 cards came out in a chunk for Pisces. 1 or 2 cards at a time, please, to see what is the clearest message we can offer. Okay, so the Hangman and the 3 of Swords. So there is a need for surrender here. There is a need to look at things from a different perspective, to be able to see things in order to obtain knowledge about a situation, so that you're not just seeing it from one perspective or one direction. This 3 of Swords tells me that something led to separation and you're healing from this. Ooh, you certainly are at a time of healing because something happened recently or in the past even, and it's just coming to the surface where something really pierced your heart. You took something very personally. Something happened and it hurt you and led to separation. It led to a need to heal. And this may be sort of impacting whatever it is that you're working on in terms of your vision. But if your vision is to heal, then hold that vision, because I think something is about to resolve for you, and it's leading to this new pathway into self-discovery. It's like another layer of getting to know yourself through obstacle, through challenge, through issue. You know what I mean? Through healing. And it's shifting your perspective on things. This Ace of Swords, when it reveals itself in the reverse, often says to me that there's a mental conflict. There is a need for healing, indeed. This is a need to heal something. There is a mental conflict that is showing up for you where there was something that happened that separated you from something that you cared about, but that separation was necessary. And so for you to see the necessary need, or the need for that, the necessity for that, it's almost like you have to look at things from a different perspective and to shift your way of thinking. Oh, isn't that interesting? Some of these cards were in that big chunk. So this leads to the Judgment card, which is a moment of revelation. It's a moment of awakening. And there's another card that was in that chunk that came out, the Sun card. So all will be well. All will be well when we see the Sun card. I feel like this is a moment of realization, self-realization. This is a moment of awakening for you. It's a spiritual awakening where you understand yourself in a brand new way. And it's bringing in a lot of need for healing and a need to shift your perspective on how you see things. Because ultimately you are the magician, right? On the bottom of the deck. You're the architect here. You're the one that is creating all of this on a spiritual level. You're the one creating all of this. You're the narrator of this story. And in your brilliance, Pisces, you've created situations that require you to expand through healing and to look at things from a different perspective in order to do that healing. And then it all comes to a close. There is a resolution. There is knowledge. There is this moment of redemption where you sort of understand the path ahead in a new way. And I feel like it really is very important for you to hold your vision right now, to stay fixed on it, because that's what's going to expand. But I feel like it's come at a cost. And when I look at these cards, I can't help but think it's come at a cost of something. There's something that you're needing to release. And it serves you, but it also hurts you. You don't want to release this. Your ego does not want to let this go. And it's not ego in the sense of being arrogant or egotistical, but it's like that human part of your personality that says, but, I was attached to that. And I didn't want to separate from that. But I think it serves you. It'll serve you and it will come into resolution. I just think you need to see it from a different perspective. You may need to see it for what it really is in order to feel like all will be well. And that you are moving towards your vision, and you might have to leave something behind. You might have to accept this separation and not feel the need to cling to it, even emotionally or mentally in your thoughts. It feels like you have to heal this so that you can move on. Something about this situation is a great teacher for you. There's something here that's a great lesson for you, and it's going to reveal itself with this Judgment and the Sun, and it's going to illuminate for you your path ahead. Not only does it resolve an issue for you, but it ends up illuminating where you need healing and where your path towards your vision guides you. Like where is the entrance to that pathway? I feel like that all comes into clarity for you as you heal this wound from the past. And it depending on who's listening, it could be recent past or past. It doesn't matter ultimately. It's something that needs healing by looking at it from a different perspective and then surrendering to it in a way that empowers you, because this magician here is able to actualize desires by knowing that everything is energy. And if you become in alignment with the energy of what you desire, then it gets called up. It gets called in. It's like you're tuning into that radio frequency and you can hear the song clearly. You know what I mean? You're in the car. I see you in the car driving with the sun shining, and you get to pick the station that you're listening to. So you can either listen to the station that brings in the illumination and the new path through this moment of self-realization and self-awakening. It's very, very transformative over here. Or you can sort of focus on this painful moment. But I think that they're intertwined. I think that they're intertwined. It's just what you do with those thoughts. Are you going to just play it back moment by painful moment? Or are you going to go back there mentally so that you can bring it to resolution and heal it? That's up to you. That's up to you. You can sometimes visit these painful moments from the past to understand them deeper. I'm curious if we'll see the Hermit. Well, there's the Ace of Cups and the Four of Wands, but it almost feels like some more reflection is required before you can actually heal this situation. You know what I mean? And to see it from a different perspective so you can walk away from it. To see the inherent conflict of ego that was present in that situation and the disappointment, without focusing on the disappointment, but seeing the disappointment to say, well, that wasn't for me. That path was like, there were so many signs showing me that was not the path for me. And it was an emotional attachment, I think, that kept you going back there, hoping for things to resolve. But ultimately, taking the self-discovery path away from that energy, I think, is what brought you to this place that you're at now, where something is going to resolve and your vision is going to actualize. So it's very interesting. Let's see what you need to surrender or surrender to. And this card just keeps sort of wanting to come out. This people pleasing. That might have been a factor here. Let's keep that out. That might have been a factor in this situation, was that you were looking for validation and you were trying to please people around you to get that validation. And look, bottom of the deck is surrender your ego, which we just talked about. The ego having a hard time letting go of something. So let's keep that one as well. Now, let's shuffle and see what actually falls out. A lot of purple and blue. A lot of purple and blue. A lot of crown, throat, and third eye. You're really sitting in your higher self right now, in those higher chakras, and needing to surrender any defensiveness that comes up. And the message on the ego card says, cultivate gratitude. Be of service to others. Come from the heart. And release this idea that you have to be defensive and reactive. You don't. You can take the time to recover and release this idea that you have to please people, you know, and you can just be true to yourself by focusing on your own happiness instead of trying to make everyone else around you happy so that you can gain their love. That is a trap of the ego that always wants to be accepted and loved, and feels defensive or triggered when that love is removed or is at a distance, which is, I think, what happened here. Just trust that everything that is happening is designed by you perfectly for your soul's growth. Our ego doesn't understand our soul. They don't know each other that well. The ego is the human part of you that is trying to make its way through this 3D life. Right? And without any pain. The ego is like, I will put up all the defense mechanisms I can create in order to avoid pain and suffering. Whereas your soul understands that sometimes there's a need for healing, because that evolves the soul. Sometimes going through adversity and obstacles is what your soul needs to come out of the other end. And so there are times where the soul and ego are at odds with each other. And so it's interesting to surrender the ego and trust the path of the soul has been designed perfectly for its growth, for the soul's growth. So that might be a message you needed to hear this week, that everything in your life has been designed perfectly by your soul for your soul's growth. And that every lesson and every moment, including the painful and the ones that have led to heartbreak and separation, they're great teachers. And they're meant to help your soul understand a dimension outside of your ego, if that makes sense. I hope that makes sense, Pisces. All right. I'm going to leave it at that for you this week. Thank you so much for joining me for this reading. I hope it's been helpful, and I look forward to reading for you again very soon. I'm sending you so much love and light, my friends. Take care.